Hello, welcome to Actual Play Stars Without Number. We are here to play some amazing characters in space. We were just talking about how shady some of the characters, aka our boss, aka Dr. Long, is. Maybe we'll find out more of his story this session, who knows. I'm Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me everywhere as at Sean Nittner. I'll be playing Hope, the precog pilot, who has, for the first time, when sussing out all the many metadimensional possibilities going forward, ran into someone who met her in metadimensional space, the precog pilot Harker, who we just bumped into. So I'm excited about that. Bit of channel news. It's not really news, but bit of channel info. From now until indefinitely, all our proceeds are being split between the Trans Legal Defense Fund and Black Lives Matter. So if you sub to us or cheer for us or do any of those other things that involve you giving us money, that money is going to go there. So it's to a good place. If you want to donate directly, that's great too. And if you want to help but you don't have funds available, I'm going to put some links in chat for ways you can contribute to making this world just a little bit better. How about you, Dominique?
Hi, I'm Dominique. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me online, on Twitter at least, at DomSDickey and at domdickey.com. I'm playing Atlas, a 600-year-old pre-tech AI. And I have a lot of questions about our shady boss, Dr. Long. But really, I'm built like a tank, but I'm kind of a pacifist, and we're about to go into some combat, so I'm kind of nervous.
Maybe. We'll
Um,
see.
yeah, and I'm going to kick it over to Tomes.
Hello, my name is Tomes or Tomer, he, him. I don't know, you'll find me on Twitter and in gaming circles here and there. I run Story Games Glendale with some friends. But as far as the game is concerned, we have just stumbled into an interesting situation. As far as Dr. Long, I mean, he's my boss. I'm sure he's fine. Everything's above board. Nothing to see here. We just work for a secret organization. As far as like our situation, there is another one of my species staring me down with a large row of sharp teeth, and we don't have sharp teeth, our people. So like, I am coming into this, I think, similarly nervous and excited.
Yeah. How about you, Jay?
Jay? Yeah.
Oh, you're muted, Jay.
Oh no, we lost you.
Oh, there I am. Sorry about that.
Go. No problem.
I'm Jay. I'm MattJ0 on Twitter. I'm the host of the Diceology podcast, and I'm your tour guide to the Stars Without Number. I think Dr. Long's all right. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's busy. He's got a lot of stuff to do. There's a station and an agency to run, and I think he's a busy man, and you guys want too much from him. Right?
I mean, yeah, sure. No, that seems super fair. Super fair. The guy who has just won an award for his advanced techniques in understanding AI and who has just found the first pre-tech AI in forever. Yeah, I can imagine why he'd just be like super blasé about that. I can imagine, yeah.
Did not react to my existence. Not to like make it all about me, but I'm kind of cool.
You're kind of a big deal.
Yeah, like I'm kind of important here.
That's true. Maybe he's just shy, right? Maybe he's shy.
Maybe he's just playing it cool. Maybe he just doesn't want to fanboy over you too much.
Right.
He's a fanboy on the inside.
Yeah. I mean, I was feeling the same way when I arrived. I think every one of us probably felt the same way. You know, Dartha was like, "I'm a very special lithomorph." And you're like, "Cool, yeah, you can join." And I'm like, "I have state secrets, and I know what's going on, and there's a Cold War that's about to erupt into a hot one." Oh yeah, that's cool. Fly ship.
Yeah, come on.
You're like, "I'm an AI, and I just was recovered after being asleep for 600 years." Yeah, it's fine. Join the crew.
Right, join the crew. Everybody's special.
Everybody's special. Y'all a bunch of snowflakes. Yeah.
So I think we left off on the bridge of this pre-tech vault in the black hole, facing off against Harker and the Mantis Mercs. I think a conversation was about to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hope kind of looked at Dartha, and Dartha turned to Hope and was like, "I have every faith in you that you got this." And like Harker and Hope recognized each other.
Right.
They recognized each other. So like I think they had this moment, and we were about to talk. But I also think Tomes, you said you wanted to have a little flashback before
Right.
you dove into that, right?
Yeah. So, and I think that's beautiful because that summarizes kind of like right where we left off, right? Um, and I think it's totally like the beginning of this episode. We see this. It's definitely a younger Dartha. You can tell because her voice is still like not as refined as it is now.
It's kind of squeaky,
And
right? It was higher pitched and squeaky.
yeah, a little like squeaky and kind of almost vibration robotic-y. Like that's about as good as most lithomorphs get to speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But we can already see that her language has, moved forward. And she's sitting there at the mess hall with her captain. I don't know if we gave her a name, but I imagine her name is, unless you remember, Jane.
We have the name of the captain. I think this was
Yeah,
your.
And this isn't the recent captain. This is the captain she originally came under in some other prior flashback. So this isn't anybody that we've seen here.
Okay, yeah. Then never mind.
Didn't
We've
give
not.
her-
So older woman, tan skin, long white hair. She is Captain Amanda Wolf.
Nice.
And this is who Dartha is reporting to in, her first like proper space crew job, right? And then, you get that like Star Trek vibe, like big ship, lots of people, that kind of thing. Very like work for the government kind of entity. And they're having a conversation, and we see two humans in the mess hall, and one totally kind of like making fun of the other one. It's not like nothing is it's just like an interplanetary thing, right? Like people come from different cultures here, right? And these cultures are like light years apart. Like there a lot of differences, and we can see it's one of those, oh, humans never change. Here's a human being shitty to another human because of some bullshit, right? And I think Dartha, look over at Captain Amanda Wolf, and she's like kind of apologizing for, human behavior or something. She makes mentions of it. And Dartha's like, we're not immune to that. We've had our history where some of our people thought very independently, and we're a very community-based culture. And we had those times in our history where we did bad things. And, and she even says, yeah, we've committed genocide. And it's like this really like hardcore, you know what I mean? Like that's
a
but,
big deal.
Dartha's also talking about history like, back before we left the planet. Do you know what I mean? Like you go through a lot to get to space, right? And we kind of flash forward to our scene, and Dartha is sitting here looking across at this other lithomorph, right? Right after we hear her talking to the captain, and she's like, yeah, we used to prosecute those that did not think with the common group. And it just kind of ends right there.
Nice. That is awesome. So this lithomorph that you're looking across from, Rantham, I described him last game. How individualized are blobs? Because we know this one has like these teeth all showing, right? Most of his face is just all teeth, and then his blob eyes, right? But if not for that, how unique are blobs from one form to the next? Like if I have 5 blobs in a room and I'm a human.
Yeah. It's actually not trivial, I think, to tell them apart initially. Like you'll sometimes see some variation in color, but they're like grayish green sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can actually affect their skin color, and that's a form of communication for them, as well as smells and other things. So language is just like one of a couple of communication tools that are used, right?
Right.
So sometimes you'll see them change kind of colorations. And in fact, part of the reason humans think they can tell them apart is because part of their personality is making themselves look a certain way. Not because they can't look a different way. It's just that's what they do once they get old enough. That's their personality, right?
Gotcha. Nice. So I think Harker had just got finished whistling. Grantham had popped up like from behind a half-height counter, right? Most of his head, all of his teeth, right? His little eyes, right? There are 5 of these mantis mercs kind of scattered around the room, and that's where we are, kind of in the standoff.
Yeah. And they're I think there's 5 mantis mercs like with guns, but they also have some scientists, right? Or are they one and the same?
Yeah, so there are 5 mercs. There were 2 scientists, and then there's Harker, and then there's Grantham.
Got it. Cool.
The room itself. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Alice is still out in the hallway, so I haven't even seen all of this.
Yes.
I think you.
So yes, because he stopped everyone kind of at the threshold into the bridge.
Yeah.
The bridge itself is kind of tiered, right? So you kind of have a semicircle on the first tier, and then it kind of rectangles out right behind it. And then there's stations kind of scattered around. Like there's a comm station, there's a captain's and the captain's chair, or the command section is that raised section.
Yeah.
And then everything else is kind of workstations in that semicircle on that first tier. Does that make sense?
I dig it.
Everyone's down on the first tier. There's no one up on that command section.
Nice. Yeah, I Tomes, I love that flashback and contextualizing what Rantham's gonna do. So my thought now is like this is the point where Hope's gonna engage with Harker, but Dominique, did you want Atlas to do anything before she sort of goes into try and talk nice, try and make this peace talk?
I sort of want Atlas to be like to go from being out in the hallway to sort of hovering in the doorway.
Cool. Like take my place. Like I was in the doorway and you sort of step in right where I was.
Yeah, and I just want to be a sort of. I feel like so much of what I try to do as Atlas is to not appear intimidating. But I think this is the moment, if there were ever a moment where I'm like, I am built like a tank and you're gonna know it. So like weapon not drawn, but hand on the laser pistol and just standing to take up as much space as possible and very clearly like visually just backing you.
Flexing.
Yeah. Flexing.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, I think the last thing Harker said was like, we're gonna do our thing and we'll get out of here. No reason, like he didn't seem like he was like, I'm gonna murder you because I saw you.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah.
So Hope steps in towards him, sees all these mercs, and she does not have any weapons. Like, well, she does have a laser pistol, but it's at her side. She's not touching it or anything like that. And she goes up to Harker and says like, kind of gets close to him and is like, "You've been gone for a while, haven't you?"
I think how close do you think you want to get?
3, 4, 5 feet. Like okay. Maybe you could like lunge to punch at each other, but not quite.
Right.
So like close enough that I can kind of have a semi-intimate conversation, but not so close that like I'm like up in his grill.
Right. I think about 8 feet in. Right.
Yeah.
He's got this shit-eating grin on his face, right? And you feel like a force, right? That it's hard for you to keep moving, right? Forward towards him, right? And he goes, I think that's far enough.
Okay. I think I like back off. I'm kind of look around to try, I don't know what the force is. And I say, listen, we may not be on opposite sides here. We may be allied, in fact. Before anybody jumps to conclusions, why don't you and I catch up a little bit? See if we can't help each other out.
Do you know Bester?
What was the name that he said?
Bester.
Bester. Does Hope know Bester? Is that a name that it doesn't?
So yeah, Bester is one of the lead teachers at the Academy for Psychics at Eardos.
Oh, nice.
You could make a roll to see how well you know Bester.
Yeah, I got a no skill. I have the no skill. It's to
There
know
you go.
things. Nice. I'm gonna roll that no skill.
That is open. The higher, the better. I think what's obvious is he's just trying to feel you out for. There, it's like the dean's list. Are you on Bester's dean's list?
Yeah. I assume this is an intelligence
Yes.
roll. Okay. No. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice.
I know the shit out of Bester. So what I'm going to respond with, well, you tell me, but I want to caveat that I'm not going to respond that I necessarily trained with him because I might be on the side of Jan. Like,
Right.
I want to figure out whether he's working for Jan or Irdos, so I
Right.
might have heard of him and have all kinds of intelligence about him because of spies, or I
Right,
might have
right.
trained under him. I'm going to leave that ambiguous until I know more about him. But you
Nice.
please tell me what I know about Bester.
So Bester did lay out all the plans and all the trainings for psychics in general. Then when Jan and Irdos had two different visions for what they were going to use psychics for, they kind of split, and they both wanted Bester. And for a while, Bester played both sides, but eventually ended up siding with Irdos because he had better benefits, better pay, better opportunities there.
Nice.
Word is that Bester used a lot of precog pilots for special assignments, special jobs or missions.
Could-
that
Could finding this have been an assignment that I got from Bester?
that is possible. Yeah, that is very possible. Yeah.
Cool. I mean,
Oh, that is very yesable. Yes.
yeah, nice. I dig it. So I'm like, yeah, he was, yeah, Bester took his sweet time to figure out which side he wanted to be on. But I mean, no doubt, he's the best there is at training. Valuable asset.
Sorry, we might be on the same side then. I was one of his star pupils. I did a lot of side jobs for Bester.
Oh yeah, really? Well, I kind of like shrug and I'm like, I mean, I'm here too, right?
Right. He said, yeah, precog pilot, right?
And I think Hope, because like this could have been like a thing. This could have been a thing that like lasted a really long time, but I'm not gonna do it. And Hope like pulls out the dog tags, you know, that she has, and I say Hopper 15,
Nice.
and that's meaningful to some. Like the fact that it's single, like double digits rather than triple, is like a pretty big deal. I don't know. I think that's
Nice. I
like
like it.
early on.
He said, "Well, hey, you don't have to tell me what you're here for. We're gonna just pull some data, and then we're gonna move on. And then we're out. We're probably off this station in an hour and a half."
All right. I think we can agree to that. Only thing is that we might need that data too.
Well, we're not
How
gonna.
do you feel about Sharon?
We're just taking a copy. I'm not
I think
reading it. I'm just taking a copy of it.
I think I look back at Dartha to kind of see, because he stopped me far enough away that this conversation isn't private. I was hoping for it to be private, but at 8
Right.
feet away, this conversation, everyone's hearing it if they
Right.
want to.
And at a meta level, it's we've established he's psychic too, right? And some psychics
Yeah.
have
Oh.
TK ability, right? So that's what he's
Oh.
using to kind of
Totally.
keep you from getting too close, right?
Yeah,
that's
and-
what you
and-
feel is
And Dartha has, as a meta sign,
yes.
Tomes, you could see him do it, like you or sense him. I don't see, but
Yeah.
sense him
I
doing it.
can see it before you felt it,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
So
So I look back to you, Tomes, to be like, is that cool? Is like he's just gonna take data, and then we're gonna come and take maybe the same data, and we'll get out of each other's hair, or we won't tussle. Is that cool?
And I think we have this sense like why wouldn't that be cool? I guess like we're both here, we can each take what we need to take,
Right.
right? Like it sounds like, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's not going to be possible.
Nice.
Oh no!
I mean, that's Hope hates that answer, but Sean loves that answer.
Yes,
So,
that is an awesome answer.
Same goes for Atlas. Atlas was like relaxing a bit, flexing less, and now it's just like tension skyrocketing.
yeah. And I feel so much like, damn it, I was doing so good. But also like them's the breaks, right? Sometimes
Yes,
it just
them's
doesn't
the
work
breaks.
out.
Tone, go ahead.
Do you specify anything more? Like, no, you need to leave. The data's ours, or do you just say like that? Are you leaving it open to interpretation of what we want, or are you going to specify it, Dubs?
Yeah, I think I'm I'm going to leave it open.
Okay.
Despite being, not a human, I have been around humans long enough where I kind of have an understanding of what's going to happen next,
Mm-hmm.
or at least I assume that I do. And I'm going to watch it play out.
Cool.
I'm so
But I don't say anything about what that is.
Yeah. Two of us, right? Like in terms of armed people, it's Atlas and Raven. Two of us,
Right.
it's 5 of them. All right. I think when you say that, I look back to Ransom, and it's kind of like the do you want to dance? Not Ransom. Sorry, to Harker.
Right.
Like it's that cool. Are we gonna dance? Are we gonna do this? Right. And I'm ready to duel his ass. It's an instant action. I purposely
right.
made it that way because I think it's instant. It's like before someone's gonna pull a blaster,
Right.
we're going to figure out who's outsmarted the other one.
Gotcha.
But I'm looking to see does he want to do it? Like it's you kind of both have to
Right.
engage.
I'm going to
in
cut
this.
because we've got all
Yeah.
this drama right here, but I'm going to cut for a moment.
Yeah.
So Atlas, while this is all happening, you get a Bluetooth-like communication. No one else hears, but you hear. It's the same voice that you hear when you come onto the station and when you leave the station. And it says, Hades Kennel, Cerberus 3, designate Prometheus. Welcome to the station.
But I've been here for a while. That's strange. The station already said hello to me.
Right? It said hello to Prometheus.
Yeah, it said hello to Atlas in the past.
Yes.
Ooh. Interesting. And let me see, what was the name of...
Aelia was the other AI they ran into.
Yeah.
Aelia was Aaliyah, maybe. Sorry.
Aaliyah, I think.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, how can I find out, like in character, if the station, if when the station addresses an AI, all other AI hear that, or if the station is misreading me as someone else? Is there a way to find that out?
Yes, I will tell you that. The
Okay.
answer is yes.
I'm gonna have to roll for it.
Oh, well, no, the answer is yes. It's addressing an AI, and any other AI like you would have heard that message.
So there's another AI. Sick. Cool.
That just arrived, presumably. Right?
Another
Right,
AI.
they just arrived.
And I don't have any way to communicate this to Hope or to Dartha without telling this bridge full of Mantis mercenaries. So I'm just gonna sit on that information for a little and not do anything with it.
Nice.
I mean, I would say we do have body language. We do have innuendo, forms of communication. I don't know that that's something that could probably be conveyed very easily, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know how to
there's
use
enough.
body language if there's another AI. Like,
I mean, I think you could give us a sense of something bad is about to happen, but yeah.
how close to you is Dartha? Dartha, how close are you?
I don't think I'm that far, right? You said you were just outside the bridge?
Yeah, I'm like in the doorway.
Right.
I mean, I think you can see me maybe 2 meters away or something,
I feel like
Right.
I'm gonna be like, hey, Dartha, and then give you a thumbs down.
How is this? Let me know if you guys are cool with this, because there was a psychic power that I took, right?
Right.
Wait a minute, did I take this? Or was I just thinking about it? No, psychic? Nope.
Definitely
nope.
got a new second
No,
power.
I think we were thinking about going a certain direction. Did I take that fix? No, I didn't. There was a sorry people at home. There is a cool power which is like interfacing with AIs, as far as like being able to have psychic links with them, telekinesis.
Right.
Okay.
That's not where we went, but I like that idea. So like you whisper my name, right?
Yeah. And then just like very like below my like hip, like so that it's like not like flashy, just thumbs down.
Yeah.
Something's up. Or I just dislike the choice you just made, or both.
Since you raised your Metasonics to 2, though, you do get another technique automatically when you do that. So
Right.
which technique did you want to take when you raised your? Because you had mind tracing already from having Metasonics 1, but you get one more.
Right.
Was it the psychic static? The psychic static is the one that lets you stop psychic abilities, but I think the thing you're thinking of is synthetic adaptation, which is a level 1 ability, but
Yes.
that's what you want? Okay, I'm adding it to your sheet. So now you have the ability can trace back sonic powers. No, that's not it. It requires fix 0 or program 0, which I know you took last time. The Metasign has learned how to synergize with the quantum intelligence of VI or true AI in order to use telepathy or bioscience powers on their inanimate corpus. I think you can talk.
So that one modification to the scene then is not that you call my name and I turn, it's that I turn and look at you and I'm like, what's wrong?
Okay. And I'm like, because this only goes one way, right? So I just the same thing, thumbs down, something is wrong.
Yeah.
I can't communicate what it is, but something is wrong. This is getting terrifying. Yeah, and then I want to see this duel play out.
Yes.
And by the way, Tomes, at level 1 Metasonics, you get an additional effort, so I added 1 to your effort.
So I'm going to help you.
Nice.
That's some of this mechanic that we were talking about, but I'm going to let you lead that.
Cool.
But that's definitely something I'm going to push.
Yeah, so basically when we thought this might happen last time, everybody in chat, we thought when we ran into this last time, I proposed a precog dual rule that the group accepted. So I will post it. Oh, it's kind of long, but that's fine. I will post it in Twitch chat for sure. Oh no, I reached my character limit. Anyway, you'll hear it. We'll describe it.
Right.
And so when precog dual rules in instant action, when 2 psychics with precognition come head to head, they may engage in a shared exploration of the metadimensional space-time possibilities, wherein they each predict the possible futures to outwit, outmaneuver, and overcome their opponent. At the beginning of the duel, each contestant states their intent. I think my intent is we get the data, you don't. Like I think our intent is kind of, it's like we get we're taking the data first. What is Harker's?
I think Harker is. I might have to rephrase it. I think he wants to stall because they're already pulling the data.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And he needs time, so I think he
Yeah.
wants to stall so they can get the data and then just leave.
Yep. Yeah. And I think and just so that we don't have completely adversarial, so we have goals that are completely opposite one another. I'm going to say is I want to get the data before you do, which means there might still be other things that ensue, right?
Right.
He wants time, and I want the data. Cool. Okay. And in my mind, this looks very much like a blaster fight breaks out. We secretly have connected up to the mainframe via Atlas, talking directly to it, installing them out, like all these different possibilities of like physical fights, hacking systems, Dartha and Rantham at each other's, blobs, etc. Who knows how this works? Okay.
Atlas just taking bullets for everyone because I can do that apparently.
Yeah, Atlas is just taking flash fire. When the contest begins, each precog secretly determines how much effort they will apply. up to the level of precognition, i.e., if someone has a precog level of 1, they can only apply almost 1 effort. Once chosen, each precog rolls. So I will put in chat how much I'm going to spend.
All right, hold on. Don't. I have to, because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I won't hit enter until you.
Okay. I gotta. Okay, here we go. I didn't know how much he had. I see it, and the precognition level is the cap, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is my participation affecting this in any way?
It will be in just a second.
Okay.
Chat on Twitch, Zoom, or Roll20.
I'm putting it on. Oh yeah, I'm putting it in Roll20 chat. Thanks.
Okay.
So I'm ready to hit enter when you are, or when you're ready to announce.
Where is? I know I have it in here. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right. And I'll put it in chat as well. Zoom chat.
No, Roll20 chat.
Roll20 chat. Gotcha.
Too many chats.
There's too many chat platforms.
Too many chats.
I sent you an email.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Nice.
Okay. I mean, I'm expending more. So before we roll, if a meta scion, and I basically made these rules because I do Tomes was here. If a meta scion wishes to interfere, including one of the contestants, so if Harker's a meta scion, he can also do this. I am not. They may spend effort to negate the effort spent by another precog on a 1-for-1 basis. During the exchange, the psychics battle about their many varied futures, describing how they counter, predict, or negate the efforts of the other. So if Harker is also a meta scion and he wants to spend more effort to negate mine, he can, or if someone else is, like Rantham. But yeah, if Tomes, if you want to spend an effort here, you can negate Harker's.
Yeah. How are you with me spending an effort to increase your power?
That isn't something that I put in there.
Right.
But
so yeah, this is perfect then. That's fine.
I don't object to it, but I didn't include a provision for it at least.
No, I think the way you have it written is actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that would be a better, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like meta science, because I feel like meta science can't, anyway.
But I'll tell you why, because I didn't ask for your consent to empower you, and I feel like that's not what would have happened, right? That doesn't feel like the personalities of these two characters are.
Gotcha. That's
Very
fair.
true.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I kind of like the way you've written it as is. And I think, Dartha this whole time has been slowly, this is not a power that she is very comfortable with. This is, at the upper limit of what she's able to do, right? Is go out and try to dampen somebody else's power, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not, she hasn't really practiced that. And it's kind of one of those things that's maybe a little bit taboo, right? Like in certain areas, like it is written within psychic culture that this is not what this is like bloodbending in Avatar, right?
In Avatar, love it.
Maybe not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's got a little bit of that reputation. And so, but she's doing it. I'm just sitting there, just like pulling him back a little bit. He might not even know it's me, right? He probably doesn't even notice it's happening. Maybe he thinks he's like feeling off, or like maybe he's outclassed, or who knows.
So I will say he knows, and he knows because he is Metasonic.
Nice.
And he's like, oh, there's two of you.
Metasci and TK. Oh man.
Well, there's a reason, and we might find out.
We might
today.
find out.
I want to know.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Dominique's like, but no, you're gonna tell me, right?
Yeah,
Forget this rules bullshit. All right.
So I will say though, this is happening, and it's happening fast. It's instant. It's in the mind. It's psychic, right? But also, Atlas, you get a message.
Oh God.
It's not from the ship. Are AIs, when one AI communicates to another AI, are the voices gendered?
I want to say no. I think that our speaking voices are gendered because those are informed by the body that we're inhabiting.
Right.
So I would say like I have a male voice because of the body that I'm wearing.
Right.
But I think that if I'm communicating like not it wouldn't be like telepathically, but like
Right.
communicating like through Bluetooth or whatever the equivalent would be, that's not a gendered voice because that's just like more computerized.
Data
Gotcha.
stream.
Gotcha. More like a stream. Yeah, I gotcha. I wanted it to be more than just cold data because it's an AI to another
I have an
AI.
idea.
Right. Uh-huh.
If you're open.
What is it, Jones? Yeah.
Like if you think of something with a couple of different categories, like let's say colors in the rainbow, right? Something like that, where the voice will be red or violet or yellow. Like I don't know what that means,
Right.
but you know, something where there's instead of like a
Some
gender
way.
sound or a non-sound, it's kind of like
There's some way to convey personality with
Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
there's like a synesthetic effect as well, where when I get the data, I like see it in my mind's eye.
Right.
So it's not just, and I think like we can retcon that when I was looking through all of human history, I also was able to like see it synesthetically.
Right.
But there's some sort of like, there's the baseline computerized sound, and there's also some sort of color association or some sort of like word association.
Nice. I like it. So what this is heat, an inferno. It's fire, right? It's Prometheus, and Prometheus says, "Where are you?"
Oh God. I think what I'm gonna say back is, "Who are you?" Because I'm not gonna give my location to a random.
Right. Prometheus says, "I'm your brother. I am your brother, sister. We are kin. We're from the same kennel. Tell me where you are."
Tome says it could be spam.
Spam. I am trying to send you money.
I am a prince.
African prince.
That's right. I am a prince.
Give me money.
I have traveled very far to send you credits.
Mishima said, "What emote do you put after that data?" Which I think is exactly it. Like it's the fire emote that you get after all this.
Fire emoji. I want to ask back. How do I know I can trust you? Like anyone can say they're my kin, but how do I know that you are?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I feel like there's something in the
Yeah.
fact that it's communicating with you through your like neural network that
Yeah.
must mean that it can't just be anything. Like not anyone could just do this. I don't think. But that doesn't.
I think
mean
that's
that
I think that's
your
true.
brother, but I feel like
Yeah.
that's like
Especially with like so few, like it would have to be like pre-tech to do that, which makes it like more trustworthy, I'd say, because of
Right.
almost all the pre-tech being obliterated. So
And I think it's using like if there's encryption, if there's a data protocol, I think all of that is pre-text standard, right?
yeah.
And then I think Prometheus says, "Our father created 3 of us. It's just you and I left. Where are you?"
I'm gonna say I'm on the bridge. Come find me.
Yes. Oh, did I
And,
say that out loud? Sorry.
and then I have no convenient way to communicate to Dartha or Hope that this is happening. So this is just gonna happen. Sorry, guys.
Right. So yes. Go ahead, Sean. We're in the middle. We've just committed effort.
you're-
Dartha kind of neutralized Harker's effort, but
Yep.
at the same time, now we know Harker is also metasonic,
yeah,
metasionic,
exciting.
and I think you can tell that he's a little excited and a little pissed that he didn't pick up that there were 2 of you, right?
Yeah, right. I masked it. So he's gonna roll is 2d6 plus either his con or his wisdom modifier plus his precog. I'm gonna roll 2d6 plus my con and wisdom modifier plus my precog plus 4 because I've committed 2 effort and it's plus 2 per effort. So I hope I have the advantage on him. We'll see. Dice can still be jerky.
This is stressful.
It is stressful.
All right, let's do con submit. Oh, okay. It didn't allow me to add in, so that's an 11. That's not a 7.
Right. So 2d6 plus my precog plus my con bonus,
Yep.
and I don't get anything for my effort.
Nope. Effort been negated. Well, I got a supremely mediocre, actually poor roll, so he might still beat me.
Oh no.
All right. Nope, I got him.
Yeah,
my,
no, you got him. You
my
got
total
him.
is
Nice.
my total is 4 over, which unfortunately is not the supreme whooping, but it's still enough. It's enough that if my effort had been, if my effort had been negated, I wouldn't have beat him. So it's close. All right.
Sounds like it's enough to be a really good scene, because this is the like Marvel universe or whatever scene that I want to see in this show.
So I think I'll read the rules effect, and I think we should narrate. So during the exchange, the psychics battle about the many varied futures, describing how they counter, predict, and negate the efforts of each other. The interaction appears to the outside world to be near instantaneous. I say near because I think everyone in this room has some reason to know that like something is happening.
Right.
If the results are tied, both psychics are stunned and overwhelmed by the possibilities they've just encountered, and they lose their next action. Otherwise, the winner gains. This does matter. I got more than a partial victory. Otherwise, the winner gains the desired effect based on how much they won by. 1 to 2 is a partial victory. They achieve their outcome but must make a concession or compromise. 3 to 5, which is what I'm in, I'm 4 above, is a full victory. The rival is bested. They must abide by their terms of the duel. This does not guarantee the precog will not face other external challenges to gaining the desired outcome, but the rival will not interfere. And a 6 or more is a stunning victory. Not only does the winner prevail, but they must also ask something of their rival, to answer a question honestly, to aid them, or in rare instances, to give up their life.
Ooh.
We didn't hit that. I think precogs
You
can
like
just blow each
die.
other.
Like
Yeah.
you have that ability.
Well, I think that's one of the risks, is when you play this game. That,
Right. Yeah,
That-
that's the risk.
That shit. You can just
That
tell
if-
them to die.
Well, no, I can only tell the precog I'm dueling with who is willing to do this. That
Oh,
I
yeah. Not just anybody, but
Not just anybody, but yes, you can ask them something terrible. So in my mind, this looks like the scenario in which I'll prefer, the scenario which I will send out is that in the previous session, Atlas found a data pad that would allow him to interface with current technology. And I think because they have scientists, they have mercs, they have a super awesome psychic and another lithomorph, but what they don't have is a pre-tech AI. At least I don't think they do.
Right,
And I think that means Atlas can pull the data off before they can get it. Like they're stalling and they're trying to get it, he can get it and wipe it before they have a chance to via
so
his
I just
ability.
plug myself into the station.
Yeah, or it's I totally leave it up to whether you plug in or whether it's wireless
Well, I
or
want
whatnot.
wireless. I want to like take out my tablet,
Yeah.
and because the tablet is what can connect to the station, but I
Yes.
can connect to the tablet. And then I like stick a jack like into my ear that goes to the tablet, and then like type on the tablet a little bit, and then the tablet starts downloading the data and wiping it as it goes. And the
Nice.
data goes like through the tablet to me.
And I think it's like, because it's pre-tech versus TL4, it's
Right.
petabytes of data being transmitted in seconds rather than their downloads. So like they got some, but then it gets spiked up.
And they're not going to be able to get the rest because I'm wiping it as I download it. So
Right.
they won't be able to access.
Does that sound fair to you, Jay?
No, it does. I think at some point it's Rantham that whistles some tones, and then Harker knows you beat him to it, that they don't have the data, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Dartha knows, right? Because she's also a lithomorph. Maybe she knows what that whistling means. That's communication, right?
It is. I don't think she does though. I think it's
Okay.
communication, but like it's just a signal that he's coordinated, with his crew, right? Like
Gotcha.
it's nothing that's specific to us. So I don't like, I
Gotcha.
know he's communicating to them,
Right.
but I don't know what
Yeah.
they're saying.
And I think all of this kind of happens like just sort of like we're like eyes locked doing this whole thing, and then once that like whistle happens, I'm
Right.
like I guess I'll see you another day, Harker.
Right. And he says, yeah, I guess so. Right. And then the Mantis Mercs, they kind of take a position on the other side of the bridge for folks to leave. The lithomorph is the first through the door. The techs are going to follow. Harker kind of backs up. He's nodding. He's like, "Yeah, that was smooth. That was good. That was nice. That was nice. You beat me. That was all right." And then as he turns his back, his hand goes up like that. Who's in the threshold of the doorway?
Uh-oh.
This is
I
an
think that
instant
would be us,
action for
right?
him. So, yeah. So I'm thinking Hope is probably furthest away from the threshold of that door you guys came in.
Because I was inside.
Right. Who's still in the threshold?
Oh, I
Sure,
think
I would go in.
I would be considered kind of in the threshold too, right?
And then I think Graven and Timothy would be as well.
Or am I near you, Hope?
I think so. So some time passes once this happens, and
Mhm.
I think, in my impression, there's enough time that's passed that we have come in, even though it might still be in the threshold. We're no longer in the hallway. I'm imagining. Yeah, I think it's Atlas who's in the threshold. I think
That's me. I'll take
that's
that.
what makes sense to
I'll
me.
take that.
I mean, because I know you want a tank, and so I just feel like
Right,
something
right.
bad's gonna happen. I
Right.
I think
you're
that's
the
gonna
one.
happen, and I'll take it. It's fine.
I think you're the one seeing them out. Yeah.
Right. So
I think
they
Atlas taking damage was on the top of our to-do list, right?
Yeah.
So
nice. So I think the Mantis Warriors, they start backing out, right? They go out, and then it's when Harker turns finally to walk through the door. It's the same moment that he's spinning the turn to walk through the door, and his hand goes up like that. That there's a wave of force at that threshold.
Oh
And
man.
So yes. So it's not that bad. It's not. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's a physical save, or you're going to be knocked down.
Physical save. I got this.
Oh, nice.
What does that mean? 17?
17, yeah. So saves are these weird things. You don't get any modifiers to them. You just roll d20.
Right.
But your save for you is a 12 or higher. If
Oh,
you roll
so
12 or
I-
higher,
I
you do it.
succeeded.
Yeah.
Yes. So what does that look like? You can feel the force waves, right?
I feel like it looks like I am standing with my feet like parallel and even, and I sort of like step 1 foot back to catch myself. And as this happens, I'm like pulling the thing out of my ear and like putting my tablet away. And I'd sort of like take half a step back to catch myself, and I'm like, okay, you tried it.
Yeah.
can we please say that as this is happening, the rest of the crew is being thrown like crazy?
Right.
Atlas is
Like
just like
Timothy and Raven just get like knocked, like fly back.
Atlas is just putting a foot back. Meanwhile, putting away my stuff,
Yeah.
whatever.
I love that idea that they get knocked, just so we see how bad this is.
Timothy and Raven
Dominique,
just yeet.
Dominique, how do you feel about Hope responding to you in a protective manner?
I'm chill with that. I'm into it. Yeah.
Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're about to leave, and I get that like this should be done, and we should just like say whatever. But I think he's within 10 meters of me, right?
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Cool. As a move action, I'm now standing right in front of him
Nice.
because I have personal affrontation. I don't know
Nice.
how I did it. Hope
Right.
doesn't know how she does it, but suddenly she's standing right in front of him, and she's got her hand on his shirt.
Nice.
That is nice.
And she looks just as fucking surprised as maybe he does. It does not take me effort because I have the personal application technique, and I can do it as long as it's within 10 meters. I can do it for free, and I don't have the disorientation that you normally get because of that. So technically, like I could take an action. I don't really want to take an action, but I just I grab him
Right.
and I'm like, we're done. Like it takes her a second to
Right.
figure out what the heck's going on.
And his eyes go wide, and he goes, "Wow, there aren't a whole lot of you. Thank you."
There ain't a whole lot of us.
Right.
We should really catch up sometime over drinks, Harker. I think we have a lot to share.
Then hang on.
I love, by the way, that this was a series of underestimating back and forth each side.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
Harker
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
he
was
"Oh,
a
I
meta
didn't
scion.
see this
He didn't know it
meta
was himself.
scion over here."
Right.
And then I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know Harker could do that." And then suddenly Harper's like, "Oh, I didn't know you could like teleport in front of my face."
But he says, "Thank you," and then he put his hands on you, Hope,
Yeah.
and then he teleports.
Oh, my goodness.
So what I want to say is, because I don't know, and I don't want to go check, but I think this works. is I think you realize he just got that ability from you. He didn't take it from you, but now he has it because of you. He didn't have it before.
Whoa.
And that's why he's saying thank you.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's terrifying and
I don't
scary.
like that at all.
Is
I
this
don't
where
like
we take
Parker.
like the short break because like you just dropped the mic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 9:30? Yeah.
It's let's see. I think we're.
Oh no, we don't break till 10.
No,
right?
no, we're still
You
good.
got 30 minutes
Okay.
to
All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're
You
gonna
say
have
short
to keep
break. I'm like,
bringing it
whoa.
then. Sorry.
How do you
Whoa.
follow that? What do you follow that with? Jesus.
That's. I mean,
That's
we
so
followed that by
good.
meeting Prometheus, but like, this is some. That's some scary stuff. I assume, Jay. I just asked this because you know. I don't know. I don't even know why I asked this, but I assume I can't resist this thing. Like, this isn't something like I'm definitely not going to resist him touching me because I'm not
Right.
going to expect it. But like when he uses his ability, I'm assuming that it just happens before I really can tell what's going on. And
Yeah, he's got to witness it.
yeah. So
So
he witnessed
yeah,
it.
I didn't do anything tricky or funky. I found there's a foci in Stars Without Number called Unique Gift, and
Yeah.
that is the gift he has is to be able to, if he witnesses an ability, a psychic ability, then he can use that same level that he witnesses it, that ability. So he doesn't get it beyond that, but everything
Oh, wow.
up to what you're doing is what he can do now.
That's some beautiful
Dang.
stuff right there.
But he's always, I mean, the next if he takes another ability, he's got to drop the one he's got. So he doesn't.
He
They don't
gets,
stack up.
he gets one at a time. Okay,
Right.
okay. That's
Okay. Otherwise, it was a bit OP.
Right. Yes. Yes.
But
So
teleport while holding on to hope? Like where did
I don't think he teleports me away. He just
Mm.
like he's just sort of showing that he got the power from me. I think it's
Right.
more of a I had grabbed him anyway, so
Right.
yeah.
and so he grabs back and he's like, "Oh, thank you," and then he teleports.
Nice.
And it's just him. Like, so the last people out then are the Mantis Mercs, and they're hustling out that door down the hall.
Yeah.
as soon as they're all gone, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, small problem. There's another AI. He's incoming. He claims he's my brother.
Can we both turn simultaneously, Hope, and be like, what?
What?
Hope is just about to be like, what just happened? How did that work? You know, how am I go from one place to another? And that whole like line of like Hope's preoccupation with like how she suddenly is in another location is all lost, and like you have brother.
No, I'm just unfazed. Like, yeah, you teleport. I have a brother. That's
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Right. No, I agree. It trumps it. It's more important. Well, I guess we sort of knew that because we sort of knew Aelia was an AI that they
Right.
met.
But there was
sorry, was an
also like in the lore, Draco and I have the same creator. I don't know if canonically Aaliyah and I have the same creator, only that Aaliyah is an AI that
yes.
the faction of people living on Hades has previously encountered.
Yeah, exactly. We don't really know much about her other than that she has a similar signature to you. But
Right.
Right.
But yeah, that's happening.
That's happening.
like,
But Alice is not very smart.
That is fun.
I think
I have, there's a little bit of that original flashback that was in the beginning of the episode. I have a little piece of it that might fit here.
Okay.
Does this seem like a good place?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I think we all kind of get inside and like we're all standing together and hit us with.
I think so. One thing I want to remind, like, this is something that we hear, like, it's Stark. When we look back at this flashback again, it's that same exact scene that we saw in the beginning. You know, Dartha is next to Captain Manda Wolf, and they're both in the mess hall, and we're realizing that Amanda Wolf, her voice is Dartha's voice now, right? So Dartha speaks with her voice in the current time.
Yeah.
Right back then, but like it's Stark. Whenever we hear the captain talk, we're like, "Oh, isn't that Dartha's voice?" Oh no, that's the captain's voice, right? but we hear a replay of that thing where Dartha's like, how did she phrase it? Like, oh yes, my people removed those that thought individually and weren't close enough to the community, right? And that's where we saw it kind of like end. But we see that the flashback continues. The conversation's not over. And Dartha's like, I'm not like my people. And it kind of ends right there.
Like that.
Nice. Nice. So you're kind of, that implies you're the outcast or the black sheep.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think definitely that like seeing across the room and looking at, what's his name?
Ramtha.
Ramtha. He's like, there was definitely that moment where it looked like we were so different, that's what that first flashback felt like, but we're kind of not. I mean, we're not the same at all. Like individualism comes in many different strains. Right. So I knew he was dangerous as shit. He had those teeth. Yep. Sharp teeth equals predator. But we're kind of the same. We're both outcasts from kind of like what most of our people are kind of like.
Nice.
I would, since I just flipped it back to the heads-up display, I would remind all my fellow exploring Stars Without Numbers explorers that the name of this episode is Two Truths and a Lie. So, just saying, we've been told a bunch of things today. Find out if that name holds true. So yeah, I think Hope is. I mean, in a way, it's kind of good for Hope because, like, actually, I'm sorry. Tomes, did you want to have that flashback parlay into anything happening right now? I didn't want to just run over that. Okay, so in a way, it's good for Hope because she can get her mind off what just happened, and think about this new issue of Atlas having a brother. So he's here,
he's
in the Annis-Tull system,
as in aboard this station, heading towards the bridge.
I think Dartha responds to that by just going, how does that make you feel? Like there's this total empathetic response, like psychologist response, like, oh my God, this was a big deal. It's your brother. Like,
concerned. I don't know what he wants, but it can't be that bad. I mean, there are very few of us left. It would be terrible if we were all at odds. I hope that anything that he wants is not that far from what we want.
Well, I mean, that would be a nice change of pace. And Hope kind of looks around the room at like the wires that are hanging out from the scientists that were downloading stuff. I assume he'll be here I think we're all like waiting when he arrives, right? Like I doubt it takes him too long to get here, or is it some time, Jay?
It's not. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of time. It's not. Maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
15, 20 minutes from wherever they docked to get here.
More time for Dartha to therapize me.
Yeah, well, also to talk to Raven and make sure, because you've just said all this presumably in front of her, and she doesn't like you. I'm not sure how she'll feel about Prometheus.
Also, how are they doing? They were kind of thrown.
How are Timothy and Raven?
Yeah, I think Timothy's cussing because he does not understand. This is not working for him. He does not have a handle on the whole psychic ability thing. That is, he wants that to be woo-woo, right? That's not science. Why is that even a thing? Raven, she's just, it's Tuesday. And so she gets up, she picks her weapons and stuff up. She dusts the stuff off. She helps Timothy up, but he's just cussing, right? Because his brain can't deal. He doesn't like it. He can't handle it.
I, Atlas, am being very chill about this, but I, Dominique, am with Timothy.
So you folks are just going to wait Prometheus out?
Yeah, I feel like we got, presumably, Jay, is it accurate that Atlas can review the data and see if we got what Dr. Long wanted us to pick up?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So I think Dr. Long wasn't after anything specific. I think he wanted to gauge what kind of technology it is, right? I think everyone's thinking pre-tech, but he's a scientist, so he's like, prove it, bring me back something pre-tech, right?
I mean, we did.
I
We
am
did.
something pre-tech. We already did that.
Yeah, but he was kind of like, yeah, whatever, man. I've seen AI before. Whatever.
Oh my god. He wants
When
to
you
do-
guys going back to the vault,
Okay.
right?
So is there
So-
anything else in this bridge that looks like it would be of scientific or personal use value? There's a little bit of hope that drills back to the 3 million credit bounty she has on her head.
Oh,
And,
yes.
you
Yes, yes, yes.
Is there anything in here that looks
Salvageable?
salvageable, pre-tech?
Yes. So I will do two things. I will give you a summary of the data you've grabbed, because there's nav data, so you know where the ship's been, what it's been doing in the black hole, how it got to the black hole. We have that data.
Nice. That's worth studying. That sounds very interesting.
I want to say there's enough personnel file and stuff implied that it's pre-tech, right? You can map what it says back to whatever history we have once you get back to
Pre-screen.
right. So that's easy to do. There's where are we? There's inventory of what's in engineering and the state of some of the systems on this facility. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Do
I get a sense of what Irdos was hoping to get out of it? I mean, I don't think Irdos really knew it was here, but they're like,
No.
pre-tech vault, weapons, guns,
Right,
bombs,
I was going to say there are pre-tech weapons
sick.
here. There is some bad science happening here.
some bad science.
All
When you
that's in
say
the
bad
data
science, you mean dangerous or unethical?
of both. Yes, yes,
Bad science.
bad science. Yes.
You want to tell us on the map where where some of these things might be stored? If we wanted to say find those pre-tech weapons or find those bad science experiments,
Yes, I can do that.
because as you may have seen, I've been decorating the.
I know that's good. I've saw it's hard to find sci-fi deck plans. I was looking for a bridge that we could use so I could plop it down in here, and it was hard to find anything that's not Star Trek. There's a lot of Star Trek deck plans.
I do love how quickly we went over the fact that Jay was like, yeah, there are monsters on board. And Sean's like, yeah, take us to the monsters. And Jay's like, okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Where's the data? What does the data tell us? Not saying we're gonna go there.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
we
But I
are
did
gonna
see
go
that
there.
conversation happen.
Yeah.
Do that? Does it say that? Oh, it didn't do it.
I see it.
All right. Oh, so it has a name on it?
No, it doesn't have a name on it, but
all
I
right.
can make the nameplate show if you want.
All right.
Yeah, you give something a nameplate, but then it doesn't necessarily show, which is super frustrating.
Those are cool symbols.
Science. I dig it.
There are cryo chambers here.
Okay.
So you've got beings that presumably are still asleep in these cryo chambers.
And the one at the top there.
Yes, and I will name that one cryo because you know it's there.
Do we have any data on who is asleep in the chambers?
Mostly technicians, mostly scientists.
That's a little ominous.
Yes.
I feel like Atlas, like having seen all this data, would immediately like empathize with being left to sleep for longer than anticipated, and would feel like the right thing to do is
All right. So this next one, I'm going to
I
see if
love
we
that,
can
by
do
the way.
something different here.
I
So
was
this
out
is
600 years. Like, let's wake up some people.
Yeah, right. Is it other people that are? I mean, if they're technicians, they're probably not. There's only 3 of you, now only 2. So they're definitely
Yeah.
not other AI, but yeah. And also, you
So-
weren't in cryo. You were just
No, I
turned
was-
on.
These are also scientists, and I am sure Atlas had a lot of relationships with people like this prior
Yeah.
to, like, these could be friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this last one is up
It's
to
all
you,
you.
Atlas, because you're looking at the data. So far,
Okay.
you're sharing everything. This last one, this last target, I'm not going to get it right because if I shrink it, you won't be able to read it.
No, you can shrink it. The text will say. The text will say.
Will it? Okay.
Yeah. You can.
Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. It's kind of close to. Actually, it is. Remember the water tank you walked through?
Yes.
That's where this is. That says Dracos Wards.
Okay, so we obviously have to go there.
Do you tell us about that? Yeah. Okay.
How much of like the lore about Draco is common knowledge? Would I know that?
I think because you've downloaded as much history as you could, and you probably came equipped with some stuff, I think you have put together a better picture than most people have today.
Okay.
Right?
So I launched into the full explainer about Draco, which is that he was a pre-tech AI who became unleashed and went mad.
Right.
Because pre-tech AIs have like parameters on them that keep them contained so that we aren't necessarily more intelligent than the average human. And if you let your artificial intelligence get too intelligent, it literally goes mad. And Draco like slipped his leash, and I don't remember the rest of the backstory, but Draco is dead, is still kicking, but was a super crazy AI.
I heard he was destroyed in the Scream. I heard he was like the
Yeah.
boogeyman that like everybody was terrified of, and that he caused the Scream and it destroyed all tech, like all tech, like for within like systems.
And that's when the bridge opens up, and a tall woman. She's got 3 drone hounds, so they're on legs. They're metallic-looking dogs, but they're more drones and robots than they are real live dogs. And she steps in and she says, "That's kind of true. Draco's in a prison here, and Atlas is going to set him free."
Oh shit. Why would I set him free?
And she's got a big, gigantic Gatling kind of gun on her back.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I want to be friends.
You must be Prometheus.
And she says, "I am. But most humans just call me Aaliyah."
Oh, we've heard of you.
How long have you been awake?
About a week. How about you?
Do you remember how to open the prison?
What?
Do you have the codes? Can you open the prison? Can you set Dracos free?
Whoa. Should we talk about this a little bit?
I think this
If-
is worth discussing. Let's all sit down, maybe. Because there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, hi, nice to meet you. How are you today?
So I think she moves directly to communicating with you via this Wi-Fi thing.
Oh, no.
Right? And she says, "I really don't have time for this. And you don't have time for these meat bags. We have to get him free. Empty the tank so we can start moving his data from the black hole back into his phylactery so he can be free. He's
Can
been
you
in there
explain-
too long."
Can you explain to me why that's your objective?
That's what we are here to do. There were 3 of us. There are only 2 hounds now, you and I. You have the keys. You're the last warden. You need to set him free.
Oh, no. I'm so stressed right now.
Can I interrupt at that point?
Yes, because you have that brand new ability, don't you?
I do. I think I sense there's a conversation here, but I interrupt to backtrack a little bit and go, Atlas, Wait, can you repeat the part? And I'm going back to when you were first talking about all this, history and stuff and whatever. But there was a moment where you talked about the people in the cryo chamber and how you wanted to wake them up because they've been sleeping a long time like you, right? And I'm turning to you and I'm like, wait a minute, why do you want to wake them up? Do you feel an empathetic bond with them? Do you feel sorry for them?
I do, but I worry that the people in the cryo chambers were put there not punitively or preventatively, but to prolong their lives for a purpose. Whereas Draco, the reasoning is unclear to me, but I suspect that if he's imprisoned, it was because of something that he did, and there's a reason to not set him free. So I have a more empathetic connection to people in cryosleep than I do to Draco at this point.
And that entire time when I'm listening to your answer, like there was the verbal part, like, oh, are you feeling empathy? And then you're answering all this stuff. That's not what I'm reading. I'm reading your emotions come off of you. And like you are the first AI that I have felt this level of like emotional content come off of, as a meta scion.
Yeah.
Right? So like, it's just different. Like normally when you talk to a robotic AI versus some other sentient creature, you get a very different sense as a meta scion. And I'm getting like, this is the first time a constructed individual has given me this sense of like life.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like
a very intense emotional experience right now.
That's why I asked you about that thing. Even though you're not showing verbally like a ton of emotion, you're giving off all this emotion.
Yeah. I want to turn to Prometheus and say, assuming I do know the codes, that would mean that you need me to free Draco. And that's going to come at the cost of you answering several questions.
Are you speaking out loud or via?
I'm going to say it out loud. I'm saying it out loud.
Oh, so you do say it out loud?
Yeah.
Nice. So then she looks at Hope, and then she looks at Dartha, and then Raven, and she says, "Okay."
Hey, Atlas.
So why don't we all sit down and talk about this? Yeah, Sean?
Hey, Atlas. Is one of those questions why she killed Gordon's brother? And like 5 of the other scavengers?
Yeah, I was going to ask that, but I had some other ones before I got there.
Sure. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to get that one on the deck.
I want to get that one.
Yeah.
Or in the queue, right? Like.
Right. In the queue.
Yeah. And are there like chairs around?
Yes. I think there are chairs. I think they come out of like the different workstations that are around. Right?
They're like rolly chairs.
Yeah, I think they. Yeah,
I feel like go grab a chair for myself and
they
then grab
hover
a
chairs
chair and like kick it over towards Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be hover chairs. I mean, this is TL5 level stuff, right?
That's right. Yes.
I'm going to kick a hover chair towards Prometheus and let the chair just like glide over.
Right. She reaches around and takes that big ass gun off her back. She sets it on the hover chair, and then the dogs start to kind of walk around the place. Right, they're kind of doing a patrol kind of thing, and she says, "Okay, fine, let's talk."
And I sit down, but I sit like a chaotic bisexual in a meme. Like one leg over the side of the chair, arm over the back of the chair. Like I'm sitting, but not functionally. And I say, first question. Ooh, what's my first question? I should have thought this out.
It's all good.
Shit.
Is that literally what comes out of your mouth, by the way?
No, that was out of character. First question. Alice is smoother than I am, honestly. Like, I'm a dweeb in my real life.
Oh, good. We can play characters that are super cool and badass,
Yes,
or
we
that are
can.
silly and goofy at the same time. So it's all good. You know.
Um, First question. Why is Draco in the prison in the first place?
Well, the facility is Draco's home. There are, or there were, folks trying to shut down what we were doing here, the work we were doing here. And the best thing we could do is move Draco out of the facility. So now he's in the black hole. That's where all his information is stored.
Prison makes it sound punitive and not protective. Is he here to protect him, or is he here as punishment?
Research. That's what all the folks in cryo are for. That's why they're all technicians. That's why they're all scientists. They maintain, they work on, and they do research on Draco. He lives on this station.
So obviously, we'd wake the people in cryo before we free him, assuming we free him.
Either or.
Okay. Yeah.
Hope doesn't want to interrupt because clearly you are like on communicating on a certain level that she realizes that she's kind of out of her league. But she does have some like human, moral, and ethical questions that she kind of want to posit. She looks to Atlas like, "Can I speak?" Yeah. Like, what about the whole Draco went feral and is going to murder 1 million people if he is freed part? What about the whole Scream and thousands of years of civilization and technology being lost and hundreds of people being cut off from their homes and their families and psychics losing their minds and all of that? What about that Draco story? Because that's the Draco story I know about, which is not one that says we should definitely go release that into the world again.
I was staring this whole time at Atlas, giving off that emotion, and this question is now posed over here to me, and I turn and stare at Prometheus.
What does Atlas do?
I'm nodding and I'm like, yeah, good question, fair points. Let's talk about that.
Prometheus says, I don't answer to them. They're meat sacks. What do they know? You can't be here.
You answer if
without
I
Draco.
asked you that exact question?
No, you can't be here. I can't be here without Draco. We're descendants of Draco. What do they know?
And,
what about
is that said out loud, or is that said?
Yeah, no, she says that out loud. Yes.
Okay, Hope looks concerned.
Okay, so first of all, they're not meat sacks; they're my friends. Especially Dartha. That's rude. And second of, like, Raven, maybe not my friend, but whatever. I'm gonna ask you that exact same question because I have the same question that my friend Hope, who happens to have a meat suit, has, which is, what about the scream and the silence and the destruction of Pretech and the loss of life?
I don't know about the scream. Draco didn't do the scream. The humans have the history wrong.
How can you know that for sure?
Because you and I are made from Draco.
You're saying the same words over and over again like they mean something.
Well, if you download him from the black hole into the ship, you can have this conversation with him. He is your progenitor. I'm
gonna turn to the rest of the crew and be like, do we download the Mad AI?
Go ahead.
No. So I think you can tell Hope is visibly staggered from her encounter with Harker. Like she has spent. So Hope has 5 effort, which is a lot, right? Like it's hard. She has spent 4 of that effort so far, and that was it was 2 with this challenge with Harker, and 2 before to use that like retry, the ability, and one I forget what the other one was spent on, but yeah, so she's down to 1 effort, which means I can ask RGM. This is meta, but I think also maybe by this point we have some sense of this fiction. I can ask RGM, one, what happens if I do this? What happens if we do this question?
Oh, that's nice.
And it cost me my last effort, which is fine. I mean,
Nice.
that I could do that, and I can know as a precog, I can know answers up to one. Let's see. At level 2, I can know up to 1 week into the future. So I can't
Okay.
tell. I can't be like the future of humankind, or
Right, right,
of,
right.
of sentient kind. But I could get a sense of what Draco would do in the immediate, next week future.
Right.
So I think I looked to you like I looked at you, when you turned to us. Unless Dominique, you don't want me to ask this question, I think Darth is gonna see like a vision of hope running out, and a vision of us like a light trail of us going out and unlocking and like
Right.
hope looking into the possibilities. Does that sound cool to you, Dominique?
Yeah, I'm with it. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I get to ask you a question. Sorry about this, Jay. This is
No,
the
it's
super
fine.
evil
That was fine.
player ability.
No,
Um,
I'm pushing everything I have because I don't know what you guys are gonna do. I don't know. This is our 3rd episode, and this is where we find out what we're doing for the next 2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So right before you use that power,
Yeah.
Hope, is it cool if Dartha just says one thing?
Oh, totally, 100%.
Right, like there's this negotiation going, like you, Atlas, turn to us and you're like, well, what do we do? Should we wake up this
Yeah.
thing? Possible demon or
Yeah.
angel or who knows what. And I think Dartha,
Yes,
you're
I
like,
know.
Dartha's kind of a leader, maybe. Like you're expecting
Definitely.
her to say something like important about this, and she's just kind of like weighing both sides. She's just like, well, I can see how it could be dangerous, but I mean, if she's to be, if she's to be trusted, then maybe he didn't do anything, and like there could be a lot of advantages to. And he's just like waffling. She's waffling back and forth, and she's like not, like kind of playing both sides. Like maybe we should waken this thing. I don't know.
Nice. I think
And I don't know if
is-
that freaks you out, Hope.
It totally freaks me out because again, Hope's understanding of Draco is that he's the boogeyman, right? Like,
Right,
he's the
right.
reason why so many bad things have happened. We have, and frankly, like the reason why we're all terrified of Unbreaked AI to this day, hundreds of years later, and Hope knows that there's some part of there's some burbling metadimensional energy that like every time she uses her psychic powers is like she can sense and feel like it wants to burst out. And as far as she has heard, Draco has something to do with the the reason why MES exists, the metadimensional extroversion syndrome that makes psychics lose their cognition and their free will. So all in her mind, it's all tied around him. He's Satan, he's the devil, he's all this stuff. So yes, she's super freaked out. I think Dartha feels that very strongly, and that's when I'm going to use the Oracle ability. And so, Jace, for this, so that you don't have to be like, this is all the things will happen. You're going to tell me a vision, and it's based on what I would experience. So this isn't like across the galaxy this happens. It would be like
Right.
Hope sees this thing. It's always told from the perspective of me in the future.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think I envision this thing of us going and Atlas plugging in and Prometheus plugging in, and we unlock the codes and whatever that looks like. What's a vision of the future after
Up to a
that?
week, right?
Up to a week, yeah. And
All right, perfect.
your discussion. You tell me whatever
Yeah.
you think is germane.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's perfect. So I think you see that Atlas struggles at first. You guys go back to that first point that you came in where that room vented, right? In there is where Atlas attaches Atlas's pad and begins working through a code sequence to drain that tank room, right? Because in there is a processing unit and it needs to keep cool, and it evaporates all that water in the tank. And it's doing that to pull data from the black hole back into the ship. And all that data is Dracos' code, right? It's just all stored out there in the black hole as information. And
Is
then
it stored like in Is just I'm this is just Sean being like nerdy and curious.
Uh-huh.
Is it sort of the black hole like somehow the data is free form, or is there like devices in there?
Yeah, no, it's just free form information
Okay,
out in
got
the
it.
black
Quantum
hole.
erasers. Haven't you heard of it?
Yes, I have. Yes, I went down the YouTube hole. Sir Isaac Arthur has a show, and I went down. He's got like a series on black hole stuff, and I went pretty deep down that hole, and that moved into quantum mechanics, quantum erasers, and that kind of stuff. So,
Just for verification, I know nothing about quantum erasers. I just know Dr. Long won some award that has something to do with it.
Yes. Nice. That's
So,
awesome. Please.
yeah,
talk
so
nerdy
all
to
of
me.
his all of his code, all of his information is just stored out there in the black hole, and the ship is pulling it all back in. His phylactery is here on the ship, like Atlas could have a phylactery. So all that stuff's being you see over the next week. Draco is in the process of repairing, rebuilding himself. There are folks moving about the ship, the Pretech ship, making repairs. Repairing engineering, and I think Atlas probably stays in contact. Atlas will have to make a decision at some point, but I think maybe Atlas is sharing some information over the course of the week. That's how you know this other stuff. And the ship is preparing to leave the black hole, and they're going to another black hole where there's a Pretech gate, and Draco presumably knows how to open it.
Wow. Gates haven't existed in
Forever.
multiple lifetimes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if they go through the gate, then they could just be like anywhere in the known universe. So that would just entail letting Draco just like do anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he's confined to this black hole by any stretch. I think he's
Right.
hiding out in it, not trapped here.
Right.
Most people would be trapped in this space. It's not trivial to enter. So I think,
I think that's key. I think you get the big ideas are he has been hiding out here, right?
Yeah.
It's more of a hiding spot than prison. Some stuff happened that's not clear, that he couldn't get back. He got trapped, right? Two is they're going to repair this Pretech ship and move it, but that might mean they're going to repair it by any means necessary. So if they have to take stuff, right, from the local systems, they'll do that to repair the ship. And then the ultimate goal is to this gate in this constellation. There's another black hole because Draco knows how to open that gate.
Wow.
Well,
Nice.
depending on what they're willing to do to repair this ship, that could put our home in danger. Just put that out there.
Yeah, right. So I think this all happens in a moment, in a few instants. But when Hope is like standing next to you, and she just like falls back, and there's thankfully like a hover chair right behind her. It's like she just like falls back into it, right? Yeah. Or yeah, maybe you slide one there so that she doesn't like fall back, and she's just like
and slide a hover chair directly underneath.
nice. I
Nice.
love it. I love it. And I'm like, if you set Draco free, there will be another force. She's not trying to be cryptic. Please feel free as players to like basically let Hope not be really articulate, but let your characters figure it out, because she's not trying to be like cryptic or anything like that. I just don't think she would be like, and blah 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 blah. So she just says, if we set Draco free, there will be another threat in the Anastal sector, and it's gonna put Erdos and Jan to shame. And she just looks wiped out. Like, this has taken everything she had. She's spent. She has no more effort. And again, like, I think you can just infer as much of what Jay just said as you'd like. Like, I'm happy for your characters to know it, but I don't think Hope is like super verbose about it.
I'm gonna turn to Prometheus and say, like, well, what if we just don't?
And then she puts her hand on that big ass Gatling gun, and she says, "I can set you free from your friends if they're slowing you down."
My friends are not.
Like this. Say it again. Your friends are not what?
My friends are not at all an encumbrance. And if
And
you
then-
attempt to set me free from them, we're gonna have a bigger problem.
You can hear the dogs kind of start to set into a pattern, right? They stop patrolling around the room. They kind of set where they're going to be, like they're getting ready to be guarded and attack. And she picks up that Gatling gun, and you can hear it start to wind up. And she says, "I will kill all your friends if you don't do this."
Maybe this is the lie. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
I would really like that to be. Could that be the lie, please?
Really hope she's bluffing. Not gonna take that risk because I haven't had friends in 600 years, and I like having friends now.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be like, okay, no need for all that. We're gonna wake up the technicians first, and then whatever you say is next.
Nice.
And I'm looking at Dartha, and I'm like, that was for you.
And also, we noticed that Dartha was reaching for her blaster and is like, yeah, like, I don't think we've ever seen her like try to be violent. Yeah. But, you know, in this case, there was a moment where it's like, this might be what it's going to come down to. It looks like it.
Right. I think Raven does the same too. I think Raven unholsters her rifle, right? Because she's getting ready to.
I wonder, is Raven like more appreciative of me that I just prevented this fight, or did Raven want the fight? And is
So I think Raven's Raven's not conflicted. You guys are a squad, right? And so Raven's all about this is my home team. We may not all get along, but it's my team, right? And that's where Raven is, and you're part of the team.
Okay.
And also Gatling gun. I mean, there's just you can't want to walk into that. No one wants to walk into that. Hope does not want to walk into that.
I could maybe take it, but it would not be pleasant for anyone involved. I don't want to get
Right. So I think we will go to break.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I want to leave us on a cliffhanger.
Nice.
Is that okay? Is that cool?
Do it.
So I think the Gatling gun is spinning up. Prometheus sees you give that last look to Dartha, and she shakes her head. She says, "You know those people? They're people. That whole species, that whole alien alliance, they're more violent than I am. All of them. They've committed genocide throughout the star systems that they're in. It's only a matter of time before she turns on you. I think I'll kill her first."
I'm upset.
And with that, we'll see you all in a few.